Hello everybody. Now I am presenting a topic on sublet on JSP on advanced web technology. So I am Associate Professor, Department of CSE, Whole Desktop Technology, currently working as an Associate Professor. So today my topic of discussion is one of important issues of advanced web technology, sublet and JSP. So what is sublet and what is JSP? This is the key components of your web development. So we are working with web pages, we are working with web components, we are working with web container. Sublet and JSP is the basic of the web for last few years. Basically the technology based on the J2EE. Now I am going in details. So this is the overview. See, for web technology, web development, there are several technologies. You can work with sublet JSP. You are working with Microsoft technology like ASP, Active Server Pages. You can work with CGI, Common Gateway Interfaces. But as I told earlier, the most popular thing is sublet and JSP developed based on the Java to Enterprise Edition, J2EE. Now, what is sublet? Sublet is a Java file. It is not a class file. And this is a Java file, but it is not a class file. Here we are working with several core Java issues, methods, constructor, etc., but we will not create any class. Now this is sublet. Sublet is a fundamental, as I told, web application. This is the heart of the web application, web technology. Now this is a server-side Java programming. So once we are working with Java programming, it is client-side and server-side. Sublets work on server-side Java programming for your deployment, for your production, etc. And usually you work with sublet with HTML, XML, JSON, JavaScript or object notation. These are the related additional technologies work with sublet. Now once we understand the sublet, we have to understand the sublet life cycle, how sublets works, what are the steps for the sublet. This is the sublet life cycle. So sublet life cycle, initially it is loading and installation. Initially the sublet will be loaded in the web container. When request comes, sublet for the first. So when HTTP request comes, it loads in the sublet container. This is the loading portion. Now it is initialization method. So init method will work once the sublet is loaded in the web container, and after the init it is gone to the initialization phases where the database's file will be accessed. Now sublet life cycle, once it is accessed, a request handling phase will come, that is called the service method. The service method works with HTTP request and HTTP response. So once it comes in the request, HTTP protocol will request it. Request is the response and request through the XML file. Now once the sublet works, it is requested, the data will come to the XML file and it is uploaded in the web container. Its role is over. Then the destruction phase, it will load the data in the tier 2 and send it to the tier 3 in the physical DBMS, physical DB section, and its role is over and it comes in the destruction method. Now how sublet works? Sublet works, as I told earlier, with the web container. Container is a space where the sublet works with JSP as well as the physical databases through the HTTP request and HTTP response protocols. Same the sublet service method. So once it is loaded, the next use is the data should go to tier 2 to tier 3, means physical database will fetch data from tier 2. It is accessed by the sublet's service method. Same, once it is responded, the DNS is responded, the client responds. Once it is loaded to the tier 3, the client responds for its work. Now important thing is deployment configuration. Once it is loaded, it should be deployed. It should be deployed on the web container through the physical databases, and that deployment will be work in the web.xml. Web.xml is the component who is responsible to load tier 2 to tier 3. Now the entire tier 2 will be work by sublet and the XML. Come to tier 1, that is the physical view. For physical view, tier 1 is the physical view. It is maintained by Java server pages. It is a physical page. Once you are in a production mode, the view will come. JSP will work with CSS, HTML and very other allied components work in the view level. JSP is the extensible server. It works with the server side and makes generation to the interactive comparison of the web application. As it is server side, it comes with HTML. HTML works with tier 1 client side, and JSP redirects it to the server side connection. As I told, it is JSP makes the Java code come with the HTML components. JSP has a life cycle like sublet. JSP has a life cycle where request response and ultimately all the phases are done through the web container. JSP life cycle compliance, first files it not would be compiled and it connects with the Java sublets. Then sublet execution, so life cycle phase, in that phase it connects, the JSP connects with the server and the sublet with following with the datas. That is called the response generation. JSP tags and directives. So if you want to develop a JSP, several tags and directives we have to works. So that is, and this is the complete page how your sublet and JSP are component with the Java engine. So request response page works with the Java engine to the sublet and JSP. These are the few JSP expression. So JSP will work with your HTML file. Within the HTML file you write the Java code with certain tag. So this is a HTML file, you rename it with JSP, and the core Java code will be imported on the HTML file and with that tag. That is the created by Java expressions. This is the standard Java code how the JSP will, this is the standard, and some example Java codes how we will be import in the HTML pages. And this is, once it is worked, it will connect to the Java bean where several components, several inbuilt components are there. That is called the Java bean. Java bean will embedded to your JSP pages. So first JSP page, this is the sample JSP page. I am saying, see, check, this is the HTML page basically, and within the HTML page I am working with some JSP, getting the JSP calculate, it is fetching here. This is some sample JSP tags we are using frequently. And as I told, Java bean is the component. Say there are several web applications. Specific web applications will come from the Java bean. In your web application, if you import specific web application, it will be converted or continued with the Java beans. Then now discussion on sublet on JSP. As I told, sublet is a heart of your component, heart of your web application, and JSP is the face. JSP will work in view, sublet is in tier 2. So if we want to develop sublet and JSP, we have to maintain a specific model. Basic model is MVC model, model view controller. Controller is your sublet and model will be your database activities and view will be tier 1. This is a sample code how you can
write, and the view will come like that. This is the code, work with print line, this sample code, and before that we have to import the sublets. As I told, sublet is not a class file. You have to import from the other file. It is a Java file. So, and if you write sublet, you have to work with doGET with HTTP request and HTTP response. This is the main issue of sublet. So you have to request the HTTP request and you have to connect with the HTTP response. Once you are working with HTTP request and HTTP response, sublet will fetch the data components from the JSP. And obviously you have to throw the exceptions, mandatory, so IO exception and sublet exceptions. This is the standard code. Some sample code we have worked. And this is the scenario how your sublet JSP will come to your physical DB. This is the JDBC Java database connectivity through internet. So you are working with sublet, you are working with JSP. Then we have to maintain the physical database, to save the database, to retrieve the database, fetch the database. This is the physical database scenario. Interaction with the clients, these important responses come with that HTTP request and HTTP response, and obviously get and post is important. So this is the overall discussion for me on sublet and JSP. I hope you get some idea. I tried my level best. So once we will day for standard web application with the security issues, we have to go for sublet and JSP. Thank you.